Alright. Sanguine depths 17. Yeah, I just wanted to show trinkets there because I think this is one of the first keys I've actually done with a mirror trinket. I've been trying to get toothed. I have it in priest on 226, but I've just been unlucky on paladin. I'm not able to get toothed at all, so I'm using this as like a sort of a replacement. I've also improved on my playstyle quite a bit since this video, but I think I overall did decently well in this video as well. Also, I want to apologize up front because I think this is one of the keys where few people were actually pretty toxic. I hope it won't show in the video. I couldn't bother editing it out. I think this is like a nice genuine LFG experience, so you know, if you see some bad words, I apologize in front, you know, in advance. Sorry, not in front. I don't think it's too bad, we'll see, but I feel like overall I've played okay. Obviously it could always get better. Here I had to lay on hands tank because I was slacking. Overall I think it was an okay key. Fortified, Sanguine, Grievous. Honestly, like I do hate Grievous, and as a melee I actually hate Sanguine quite a bit as well, but it's not too bad. Like here I stun him in this, which is pretty bad, but you know, warrior died anyway, so we would have to wait for him, I guess, so it's not too bad. It's not the first time I've done this either. You really gotta be careful with stuns. Like I think on Sanguine best thing to do is to stun early if you can. And here I make a really big mistake. I think this is the part of why I got flamed at the end of the key. This guy never, like, he never said we're skipping this, and I have never done a route in which you skip this brute. You always skip the next one, but this one I have never skipped before. I have to admit, like, obviously I'm aware that it's a route, and I know it exists, but I'm not that knowledgeable about the routes, and this was just a surprise to me. Nobody ever said we're skipping it. I just walked into it like a moron, and it cost us a lot of time, and it cost us a kill. Like not a kill, but it cost us like deaths. So pretty bad overall. So yeah, I mean, I apologized. Yeah, what can you do? I just didn't know. No, but in my defense, they didn't say anything. Like the chat was dead. Like it was literally like expected. I don't think they linked route either, to be honest. So I guess I wasn't focusing. My bad, I guess. So we continue. Yeah, it's fine. We stabilize. We got our CDs back at the very least. These guys were pumping big damage, so they definitely contributed a lot into like speed of the overall dungeon. You will see. I feel like we actually could have like +2 this as well, maybe, if we just minimized some of the stakes. Also, I just want to say one more thing, because I'm not sure if this is very clear. Like, these videos are not guides, they're not tutorials, they are just me basically recording what I've done, and I uploaded it in hopes that, you know, somebody out there might enjoy the gameplay or might be curious about learning Holy Paladin, and they find maybe, you know, what I'm doing helpful and stuff like that. This is not a guide. Like, I'm not that good on Holy Pala, first of all, and second of all, I like, if I did tutorials or guides, they would not look like this. They would not be like gameplay from 17. They would be just very different, and I might do that at some point once I feel like I'm at a position where I can teach others, but for now this is just like sort of my journey, and I'm just doing commentary. It's like none of the things I said should be taken as facts or anything, just, you know, just quad gameplay. Got any questions, feel free to ask. If you got any suggestions, even feel free to ask. If you want to tell me I'm trash, you know, comment section is down below. Here I decided to Ashen Hollow because I actually don't know. I feel like it would be much better if I Ashen Hollow the boss, but I was probably thinking like it's not tyrannical, so I opt to Ashen Hollow this instead, and just sort of like hope that these guys have saved their CDs so we can blast the boss completely. And this boss is, like, I used to think when I was sort of new to keys, I used to think that this boss is one of the easiest, but as a healer, this boss is actually really fucking difficult. Especially as you go higher into the keys, like up till 14, 15, it's not that big of a deal because the balls are not that scary, but like Severing Smash actually fucking smashes later on. Get it? Because it's called Severing Smash, so I said, yeah, okay, you guys get it. Alright, so basically what I did here is I usually like to bop the person that gets charged. You can do that, by the way, if person gets charged and you want to immune it and the person itself does not have immune, like Mage or Paladin, you can bop them and they will take no damage at all. If I pop Aura Mastery for this one, actually kind of lucky that I even had it. And this is why this is really nasty for Holy Paladin. I'm still finding like the best way to deal with this. I think I dealt with it quite okay here. But like, you don't want to be melee, right? Because, well, because you don't want balls to be close to him. You want to have like time to soak them. And essentially, you as a paladin, you want to be melee because otherwise you're forced to use these disgusting useless spells such as Flash of Light or Holy Light, which are, I'm not gonna say useless, but they might as well be. They're not very good, to say the least. And here, like, this is what I said, like, I think this is one of the first keys I've done with the mirror trinket, so I know that somebody's probably watching this and is like incredibly triggered that I haven't used it. I think like maybe once or twice for a full dungeon so far. So yeah, I am sorry about that. You know, still working on it, getting used to it. Now I am fully used to it, obviously, but in this video I wasn't. But yeah, here this pull can be nasty, but this is a good way to deal with it. Actually, this is really nice. You can just AoE. You know, if you have Monk or Warlock, it's a really nice area to AoE stun, and we have Blinding Light as Paladin, so we can do like a big AoE interrupt if we're very, you know, aware of the casting. And you know, as a tank, you just want to keep moving here because, you know, Sanguine is gonna get dropped, and this was a really nice pull, very smooth, good time save as well. I actually sort of ended up wasting wings, but yeah, it's good. It's always nice when you can contribute damage as a paladin. And obviously in these keys, I like, my damage is even weaker than it should be. I'm using Mad Paragon now. I used to use Light Shock trinket, sorry, not trinket, legendary that gives you a shield, right? So I mean, it's good. They're both good, don't get me wrong. I think that Holy Shock legendary is definitely better if you're like struggling to keep people alive, but in my opinion, in most cases, like, that's our, like, the shields we make with Holy Shock are rarely difference between life and death. Like, maybe that could be an issue like on high keys when you're doing prides or something, or like big AoE damages or whatever. But in keys I do, usually when people die, they die due to simply being in the wrong spot at the wrong time, and they'll most of the time get one shot. Like my small shield from few K is not gonna make a difference. At least that's the way I see it. And the overall increase in both damage and healing the Mad Paragon does, and the synergy it has with Ashen Hollow, is just insane. It really makes us a lot stronger. It might seem insignificant, it's like, oh, 1 extra second on the wings, yeah, but you know, cast it like 2 or 3 times, that's 3 seconds, and then, you know, it matters. It's few extra global CDs, a lot of extra healing overall, considering how many times, you know, your wings proc or you use them. It really ends up mattering. Like, let's take a look, 40-minute dungeon, that should mean we get 20 usages of wings, you know, so it's a lot of extra wing time for us. And then count procs in as well. You can see how that's a really nice legendary, which is, I would say, is still primarily used because Ashen Hollow. So, you know, let's not make it better than it actually is. I think we're mostly using it because Ashen Hollow, and because it allows us to basically either smash bosses or like destroy big pulls, make it essentially so we have like 5 DPSers instead of 3. And then if tank is also doing big damage, like monk or DH, you know, an AoE pulls, it's like, it's really good. So here I died. I shouldn't have, obviously, but I honestly, I thought we're gonna kill the guy before he got a cast off, so that's on me. And here as well, like we didn't even use the lantern, and I think I'll die here again if I remember correctly. This actually made me pretty angry. I had no bubble. I wanted to bubble. I used divine protection, but yeah, I just I mean, what can I do here? I don't know. If somebody knows, you know, let me know. But he's like, open the cage, and then they all go line of sight, so obviously they're gonna go and shoot on me. So I mean, it's my bad. I should have, like, what I should have done is I should have hid and wait for like bubble and then open the cage, or just hide and not heal and then open the cage or whatever. It's kind of tricky when you're a healer and they expect of you to open the cage, which happens to me both on disc and here, because I'm Venthyr on both. It's not always, you're not always gonna have a good time. You gotta be very careful there. You gotta be very careful. And this is like, obviously because I'm late, he's going into like high stacks and people are dropping. I didn't manage to stabilize. I'm kind of panicking as well because I really react badly to people saying obvious things. Like this guy, I remember what he said here. He said something like, do you know how this spell, and it's like, dude, obviously I know, like I'm 1.6k Ryo, like I'm not saying it's amazing, but I know what things do, right? It doesn't mean that I'm a perfect player. I still make mistakes, right? What makes it more annoying is that like they died in a pretty dumb way a lot of times as well. So, you know, if the team plays perfectly and I die and I get flamed, I don't mind. I just feel bad. But when they flame me and they also fuck up a lot, that actually, it's actually kind of annoying. Not gonna lie. But yeah, we proceed. Like the main danger in SD is essentially something I'm really working on getting better, and I think I've finally gotten at least decent at it. Is I'm better at dodging frontals. And obviously, as I said that, obviously this can't happen. I had to die. At least it wasn't a frontal, right? It was just an AoE. But yeah, like basically, I mean, it's the I blame camera angle for this. Lag, camera angle, whatever you choose. It's just tough to see. I didn't see it. Like my consecrate was over it. That's why I legit didn't see it. It was weird. It is what it is. Mistakes happen. I don't know why this guy didn't get decursed here. That's kind of cringe. I was literally like spot healing him there and wasn't able to keep him alive. Maybe if I gave him like sack plus mirror, but I would not use that many resources on something that can just get decursed instead. I think this one is on mage, to be completely honest. So yeah, we res this guy, we proceed. We're good on time here. I think you want about, correct me if I'm wrong, but you want like 12-13 minutes going into gauntlet at the end. No, that's overkill. No, what am I saying? You need like what, like 8 minutes? Yeah, 8 should be fine. 8 should be fine. On Fortified. On Tyrannical maybe a bit more, because it's kind of harder to push Khal. But yeah. And here I get fucking baited. I thought we were gonna fight him on this side for some reason, and then tank just jumps over. Luckily I'm Venthyr, so I can choose Doors of Shadow. Again, healing the wrong way, using Flash of Light, and then I should have done a Crusader's Drag there. That would free me up, Holy Shock, and then I would have Word of Glory, and I would just heal way more. But as I said, I'm not used to that playstyle yet in this video. I've finally figured it out, and I'm using a lot more Light of Martyr nowadays. But in these videos, it's actually embarrassing watching them now, like how much I'm not healing properly. It's working out though. It's working out. It's just so not optimal. It really isn't. Like, Light of Martyr is actually a pretty good spell. It's instant, and it just costs your HP, And like what I do nowadays is I actually run double beacon. So I beacon myself, I beacon tank, and I just like you can light up martyr a lot more, because then when you actually heal, like you'll get that HP back in like 1 or 2 global CDs. So as long as you're safe, as long as you're good at dodging damage yourself, you can actually be like a lot more kind of like relaxed about it. It's pretty nice. Again, I mean, the guy just did like, to be fair, he had less time to decurse him there, and but in my defense as well, I had no time to react, and it is what it is. I mean, you know, sometimes it just do be like that, and you can see that the group is tilted at this point, and I have no idea why, guys. Like, we are good on time here, we're doing great, we're blasting through. Like, sure, 11 deaths looks bad, but we're completely fine time-wise, and like we're doing so good so far. But like, notice how we have no health stones and nobody's saying anything, because like I feel like everybody is a little bit tensed up or whatever. And I think these guys were actually pre-made, like 3 of them, and 1 was rando. I'm not sure which one though. It could be that they're all pre-made as well. Okay, here he posted, he put health stones up. It's my fault for not getting them, but I'll be honest, like I don't know if I didn't notice, but I remember I was scared to ask anything because they were already tilted. So I keep saying this over and over again, and I don't know if you guys will agree with me, but if you're doing a kill with someone, especially if they're randoms, especially like flaming, is just almost never gonna get you anything good out of it. Like, it's just not. It doesn't help anyone there. It's not gonna make the person play suddenly better. It's not gonna make them focus more. It's just gonna potentially tilt them or make them leave. So it's pointless. Don't do it. Don't flame. Like, you can check, you know, you can ask things, you can say things, but just don't be like, you know, condescending, and just don't be a cunt, basically. Just be a human being, decent human beings, you know, try to help. And then later at the end of the key, like, you can be a raging, you know, moron and whisper them how much you hate them or whatever, but like, at least during the key, I really feel like it's completely pointless. But yeah, here, Pride, I decided to do this one with Holy Avenger. Probably not ideal. Okay, here I remember to take Hellstones. Probably not ideal, but I really want to have Ashen Hollow for this boss. This boss is terrifying, so I'm waiting. I think I'll wait for the ad to spawn. No, I don't. I just pop. Okay. And here we go. Castigate is going on. Wait. Okay, I got no idea what happened with Castigate there. Could be that whoever it was on, like, maybe spell reflect or something. I don't know. But essentially, like, we melted. Like, guys, we melted this boss. Like, this boss disappeared. We literally killed this boss faster than killing some of the mobs. And let me tell you something, and I know this might cause a lot of people like to outrage or whatever, but I actually think this boss is easy. Like, Executor Tarvold might be the easiest boss in this dungeon, or second easiest boss. Like, the whole philosophy of the boss is basically Castigate, walk out, focus ad, never Zerg, but always focus ad. Almost always, like, unless boss has like 5k HP, you're focusing fucking. And here we do a nice big pull. I actually really like this. This is something I really like. I think this is a good pull. Although we might be out of CDs, so it might be sketchy, but we'll see. But if we manage to pull this off, I think this is like a really nice time save with the imprison the nasty guy that shoots thingies, and then we can just focus down these cunts. But yeah, sorry, I'm swearing a lot today. I don't know why I'm swearing so much. I'm sorry. I'm trying to be like PG-13, but there's just something so juicy about saying the C word. But yeah, essentially, that was a good pull. But what I want to say about second boss of this dungeon, and you're right, Executor, It's all about awareness, obviously, and practice, but you do realize at some point that the boss is very scripted, and it's like, go stand left or right, depending on which side you choose to go. Most people will go left, so you're going to stand like left, you wait for the ball to pass, then you move right, walk out with castigate, focus side. That's the whole philosophy. As a healer, as a Holy Paladin, like what I like to do is I like to basically make sure that I have full Holy Light when the castigate is going off, and then I will like Word of Glory, Holy Shock, Word of Glory, and usually that's enough to keep that person alive. There's not much healing needed outside of that. The boss is very squishy as well. It is a boss that's meant to be zerged in a way, so it really is not that hard. And also, if you have immunity classes, you're really blessed because you can immune castigate. And here we have 2 immune classes, right? We have mage, can ice block, and we have me who can divine shield. It's just really nice. Easy poggers, if you ask me. And here, like, we're standing a little bit weird. That's why scared that Warden might slap us here. I'm still, as I said, like I still, especially in SD, like I'm really struggling to position myself properly for the mobs that have frontal, especially when tanks rotate him like this. And I know that this guy has to, right? Because SD in general has limited space, and with Sanguine it's a really, it leads to like a tricky combinations of, you know, tricky situations. But gate, but yeah, it is rather simple, really. It's not that big. It's just me that needs to get used to it. Yeah, I want to say, like, about second boss as a disc, it's a struggle. You need to like organize much better. As a Holy Paladin, it's really not that big of a deal. Let's not forget that we also have Sack, and we have Aura Mastery for the ad. We have Ashen Hollow to help Zerg. It's a really nice boss, I think, for Holy Paladin overall. I have not struggled with it so far. Alright, here curses, obviously try to interrupt. Not much to be said. Dispel when you can. What I like to do sometimes is I'll wait a little bit with dispelling, because obviously you won't wait like 5 seconds or something, but you can wait like for them to finish a cast if you know you're out of interrupts, like now for example. And if three were alive, you know that the curses would go off, so you just kind of like wait a little bit, and sometimes you can get like 2 or 3 curses on the same person, and then you get extra value from dispel as opposed to like dispelling 1 per each. And here it's only 2 ads, so I really think like it's only 1 Wicked Oppressor, so I'm just thinking like we're not gonna fail an interrupt there, so we should be fine. And yeah, we just keep blasting, kill this guy, we get Pride out of this. And again, I think I save Ashen Hollow for the boss, because actually this boss is the boss that's actually a bottleneck in SD, I think. Once again, I'm not doing super high keys, and I'll be honest, I've never seen a super high key SD. Maybe I should take a look and learn something, but this fucking boss, the AoE that happens after his AoE nuke is just really fucking nasty, and it's scary. And as a healer, you gotta move, and because you gotta move, you can't cast hard kills, and as a paladin, we can't stay in middle as well, because usually there is also shit falling down there because of tanks. Basically, you can't regen your Holy Light, you can't heal, because you need to be stationary to heal, and it's just a disaster. I think that the key to beating this boss reliably is like having like big defensive CDs on your DPSers. Here I'll pick up 4 orbs, and I'll pop Divine Protection to mitigate as much damage as I can. We have Ashen Hollow going out for us as well, so this looks relatively harmless. But even like this, you see, guys, you see how this wasn't. It was very stressful. It was like, you know. And then here, for example, we could Mage Alter Time. So here, like, Mage could block. I'm also gonna. I think I'm gonna use immunity as well here, just to be safe, so I can regen and heal them. I used it way too early though, like a moron, but it is what it is. And it also helps that we have health stones, right? And I mean, it's not tyrannical, so this boss actually wasn't that sketchy. But most of the other times, this boss can be really nasty, especially on tyrannical. Also, something I started using lately is it's like a GCD tracker, like something that shows you guys what spells I'm clicking. I've rewatched some of my videos and I realized that like it's kind of dumb that I didn't do that earlier. Because a lot of times I'm sure that you guys aren't sure what I'm casting, especially if like somebody's a little bit inexperienced and whatnot. And they're, you know, trying to catch, you know, what I'm doing and stuff like that. It's literally impossible. It's really bad of me, so I do apologize for that. Like, I did start using it and I've recorded 2 keys so far, I think, with the GCD tracker, so they'll be uploaded like in the next few days. And this is a nasty pull. We skip this, I like that. And then into the gauntlet. There's really not that much to say about gauntlet. You just gotta push Khal, right? And you gotta live. This guy dies, I'll mass res him, no problem. And we go into gauntlet. And you can see how the situation here is getting a little bit dicey. It's mostly about obviously prioritizing Khal so you get out of this mess ASAP. There's also one more thing that I noticed is a factor, and like, I don't know about you guys, but I'm like in this corridor, it's really hard to position your camera in a way that gives you a good overview on what's happening. And basically because of that, oftentimes what happens is Khal will jump on someone. She'll do the AoE, right? And you don't want that AoE on everyone, but as you've seen in this previous pool, like we've had this AoE on like almost everyone. Because we were all stacked. That's not really good. You want to avoid that, especially on tyrannical. That shit hurts a lot, so you gotta be careful. And here, this was a perfect. This is actually really nice, really nice. Like, I wish I could say I planned this. I didn't, but I got like a perfect ration hollow here. I opened the cage a little bit late. Like, if I wasn't the only Venthyr, you know, this would be even better. And we just pop off, we kill all of these guys, and it's nice because I can afford to waste a big CD here. Waste, sorry, I hate saying the word waste when it's obviously used very good. But like, I use a big CD, and this pull doesn't really warrant a super big CD, to be honest. Maybe a little bit, but not like really, not Ashen Hollow. However, it secures us a lot of stacks on the lantern. And with all of these stacks, we're really strong, so we can push faster. So it does actually pay off. It's 1 minute. It's essentially Pride. It's a mini Pride, more or less. And we just proceed. We go. We kind of zerg through this. We push Khal here really fast. We kill everything we need to kill. And as you can see, Gauntlet is almost over, and it really worked out really nicely. And here again, what I talked about, we take 4 stacks. Not good. But I don't really know what we can do to prevent it except just position much better. It's not that scary on non-tyrannical, to be fair. And there you go. You can see how fast we clean her with a buff. I mean, look at the warrior's DPS. He's like doing 15k DPS. I mean, he would never be able to do that without the buff. So it's really nice. It's essentially like a Pride, like a Prideful buff. It really is. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. And here you just gotta be careful. This is a nice little pull, you know. Sentinel with these guys. Obviously don't target weapons. I sometimes do that, like the Pepega. don't do that. It's skirmishers that need to die. Weapons are just their summons that are completely useless. And here basically the last pull. This is like a safe little pull. Usually it should be safe. Just be aware that, you know, there's gonna be traps here, and if you play with sound, if you're one of those weirdos that actually plays with sound, that's very helpful here actually. It's really nice to hear what's happening. If not, then you'll be fine. Just watch for the red circles. Just be aware that they will happen, and don't like. Even if they spawn on you, you have time to walk out. So really, there's no excuse to be hit there. We finished Pride. We're gonna get like shout from warrior here, and we have my holy avenger, so this Pride is looking pretty smooth. And you can see, you saw that even though I used Ashen Hollow pretty recently, we'll have it back up in no time for the boss. We might even kill the boss before I cast it, but I think I do get a cast off and get some value out of it. Yeah, probably we don't kill the boss in like 50 seconds. Yeah, so we'll get it. And yeah. See, Pride went smoothly. I do actually end up popping up a Holy Avenger. One thing I would say about this is I think I should have been aware that I will need to pop it anyway, so like I should have done it a little bit earlier. I really delayed it quite a bit and it got a bit scary. But at the same time we also had warrior shout, so yeah, I was kind of hoping that he'll do that, because we won't really need it for the boss, but it is what it is. Just be careful here. For those that don't know, you can actually dodge basically all the abilities of this boss. Wicked Rush is not easy to dodge, and this guy here, he has 2 stacks, and I end up popping him. You can pop the stacks off. It's very useful. And yeah, you can see here I have Ashen Hollow in like 10 seconds with wings or without wings right now. You get like a nice yeah, and here it is. I don't know why my weak aura didn't work here. Like my weak aura is supposed to tell me when I need to run, but it didn't. You can download a weak aura that tells you when you need to run. And if you pop any sort of movement speed buff, you can even do it with default speed, but it's very precise. With a movement speed buff, you can just dodge Wicked Rush, and you actually don't take a hit, and you don't get a stack either. Anyway, guys, I just want to say, so I don't rush this towards the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate people clicking my video and watching through. You know, if you want, like, subscribe. I also do other content. You can also follow me on Twitch if you want to, although I don't play WoW there much lately. And yeah, thanks for being here. Have a great day. Bye.